Athena Joy Curry was last seen at Beecher Street in Atlanta, Georgia on May 27th, 2011. This is Hold My Sweet Tea. Hey y'all, I'm back. I'm Pearl.
And I'm Holly, and I'm so glad you're back.
Yeah, I had fun.
That's
My
good.
mom's probably not glad I'm back.
Right. She's like, come back, come back.
Stay forever.
Well, you tried to get her to come here, but she doesn't like the state because,
Yeah, the hurricanes and all that fun weather, she's scared of it. I actually was like, do you want to just come stay like a week? And she said, fly? No.
Right. You fly here, but I'm not flying
Yeah.
anywhere.
I said, suddenly you're scared of flying? You used to fly all the time. She said, blow up now.
Now. Right. I know.
And I'm like, they blew up then too.
Yeah. I have to confess, I was a little worried with you flying out there and back. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, you should have been on my plane on the way back. The amount of turbulence was kind of freaking me out.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I would have had to been sedated.
I want to be sedated.
24 hours ago. There's our age again.
Yeah. What's my age again?
All right.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so my mom, just, little backstory, had a stroke about 6 years ago. It might be a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
But she has verbal aphasia. So she has a hard time talking. She gets out some stuff. Cuss words.
Yeah, she does.
Real easy. But she'll get stuck sometimes and can't
Mm-hmm.
really say things. So when you hear me say stuff like the only answer she had was blow up now,
Yeah.
it's because that's it's the easiest way for her to communicate is
Mm-hmm.
it's a little broken. Like she's just not from here.
But she tries. She tries to
And
get
she
it
does
out.
really good. And if she's mad, she does really good.
Yeah, she cusses.
But she'll also get out like regular words really well when she's mad.
Yeah.
So we went to the Bellagio to see the show O. So it's like Cirque du Soleil stuff.
Cool.
Really, I loved it. This one has water in
Oh,
it. So
neat.
it was really cool. We're waiting in line outside the theater doors. And there are a bunch of people who keep pushing past my mom. And my Beth Dutton comes out.
As it should, because
And I
your mom is
literally
tiny.
stopped people and I said, what in the hell are y'all doing? We have assigned seats. You bought tickets to the same show I did. We all have specific places to sit.
Right.
What reason are you trying to cut in line so you can get in here first? Like you need to beat me to something.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've been standing here. People looked at me like, oh my God, and then turned around and walked back behind me.
Like your Beth Dutton and your Louisiana coming out.
Yeah, I was like, y'all are idiots. And
Right.
it's funny because I tell my sister and her husband about it later, and they're both like
Mhm.
tourists.
Right.
I'm
All
like,
these dang
Technically,
tourists.
so am I, but literally,
Yeah.
what is your problem? So, I mean, we had balcony seats.
Mhm.
So I was just like, also when I'm going through the doors and watching the big crowd of people go down the little hallway, I get to go up the escalator.
Right. You're like, look at me. I get to go up here.
And so, we get up there and it's like really plush seats with these little marble tables so we could put our drinks on. And there's like no one sitting on the sides of us, no one behind us. It's just us in this little spot.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. And we just, got to look down over the crowd of people.
So y'all are up there like the Volturi from Twilight.
That's right. Judging.
Judging all of the little people down there who tried to push their way in, and you're
Right.
like,
I could
look at us
spit
up
in your
here.
hair.
Right. I
Just
can
because
see
you were a
that.
jerk.
Like, that's what popped in my head, the Volturi. I have to work Twilight in there somewhere. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, so it was fun. And then when we were leaving, my mom was getting frustrated with the crowd of people because, again,
Yeah.
like, we were having to walk back through the casino. And like I said, those cuss words come out so easy.
Yeah.
And she's getting frustrated and she's over there, bastards. And I'm like, Mom, stop. You're going to make me have to fight someone in this casino and it's not going to be cool.
Be like, I will, but I don't want to.
Because they go turn around and they're going to be like, what did you say to me? And I'll be like, don't you talk to my mama like that. Yeah. And then it's like, pulling off imaginary earrings.
Right.
Telling my mama to hold my shoes.
Right. Kick off your shoes and be like, look, I got better grounding barefoot. Yep.
It's on in this carpeted casino.
More better.
Mo better.
Mo better. See, that was the ghetto coming out. Mo better. Flip my shoe off in the air.
Flipping your flip-flops everywhere.
Right. Oh my God. I remember my aunt one time, she got mad at her daughter and first of all, she threw a glass of iced tea at her and so she took her flip-flop off and she was like, well, bam!
Yeah.
Right in the back of the head.
I've done that a bunch of times. I have really good aim with shoes.
Yeah. Yep. I've done that to my son. I have thrown a shoe or two at him because he was being aggravating.
Now my brother, old Chicken Voldemort over there, he got a can of bug spray thrown at his head. So he knows I got pretty decent aim.
Right. Well, my ex-boyfriend knew how to push my buttons, and I'm a very tolerant person, but I had had enough, and I'd just taken a fresh hot pan of baked cookies out of the oven.
Ooh.
And I threw the entire pan at him.
Oh my goodness.
He ducked and it missed him and he goes, you missed me. And I took the spatula that was in the other hand and threw and caught him right between the eyes and cut his forehead. I was like, look, I'm not a violent person, but you just brought that out. You deserve that. Wow. So yeah, throwing cookies, throwing shoes.
We're abusers.
We be violent.
Not really.
Not really, though.
No. I am the world's most patient person on the planet. Is. I take a lot of junk before I get ugly. So 80 people must have pushed past me before I said something.
Before you finally got, I was like, yeah. Oh. I have less tolerance than you, but I'm I let things go a lot, and I let it go, and I let it go, but then I'm like, no.
Yeah.
There's certain things. But yeah, and then last night we went and got our
Tattoos.
We're gonna, post those, I guess, today on our regular Facebook. But we got some little cute videos.
See them before this airs.
Oh yeah, so, and then we'll get them out so everybody can see them. But they're adorable.
They're the cutest things.
They're our homage to the podcast.
Yeah, and then we got them at Monster Inc.
Not Monsters Incorporated.
No, INK.
I'm sure there's screams there, but
in Ponchatoula, Louisiana.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Justin Millett did ours, and he is really good. Is
it Millett or is it Mie?
Oh, I don't know. Is it Mie?
I don't know. Did you ask him?
No, I did not. Justin, how do you pronounce your last name?
We don't know how to pronounce your last name. We be messing things up all the time.
Right.
We swear we're not from here. We're from the north.
Right.
However, we've been here so long, we should know how to say stuff.
There's a lot of last names here that are surprisingly.
It's questionable.
Yeah, questionable. So
Richard, Richard.
Yeah.
Robert Robert.
Yep. All those. Herbert Abear.
Yeah. There's so many.
But yeah, he did an awesome job, and we want to give him a shout out at Monster Inc. in Ponchatoula.
And we're gonna tag him on
absolutely.
Facebook and stuff. So, you can always go check out our Facebook page and find him if you decide you like the work.
Yeah, go get you a nice little tattoo.
He's funny too.
Uh-huh.
So. Chatter.
So what are you telling us about today, Pearl?
Today we are going to venture back into the world of a missing person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we kind of went off.
We did cryptids.
Yeah, little spooky stuff, little cryptids, little granny magic.
Yeah. So I feel like gotta get back to where we
Yep.
where
the
we
true
started.
crime.
So I'm
back to our roots. That's how they say roots down here. Roots.
It is true.
I'm gonna go to the store and get a cold drink.
Yeah. While you make some groceries.
And make some groceries.
That is like the weirdest thing to me. Like, are you literally standing in there creating these groceries?
Nope.
No. I'm going to buy some though.
Right.
But that one's always made me laugh.
Yep. And roots.
And then you got me, who's over here. Porch.
It seeps into your soul the longer you're here. Like the swamp just takes you down with it.
Right. Starts changing you.
Yeah.
It's like some Soylent Green type stuff.
Right. Exactly. And like there's a little bit of Southern that comes out, and then I'll be saying something about the parish, and I'm like, that was Chalmette. Where did that come from?
I didn't even live there.
I didn't even live in Chalmette. Where did that come from?
All right. So our person today that we're going to talk about is Athena Joy Curry. I do just want to disclose that I'm going to talk about her sister a lot because a lot of the information that I have is like stuff from her family and mainly her sister. Her name is spelled Aisha. Google says that I'm supposed to pronounce that Aisha. So that's what I'm going to do, but I apologize tremendously if I'm saying it wrong.
I mean, I guess so. When you say it out loud like that and the way it's spelled, it does. Yeah, Aisha.
So we're going to go with it. I also do want to point out that I'm not really positive of her exact age at the time of missing. There's some stuff that says 20, some says 21. Mm-hmm. I've even seen one thing that said 22. So
yeah, sometimes it's so hard. There's just
it's like really hard to find it.
Stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I couldn't find her exact birth date. So we're just gonna roll with it. She's somewhere between 21, 22 when she disappeared.
Okay.
So Athena was the youngest of 5 kids. She grew up in Oregon, your favorite.
I love Oregon. I want to move back up there.
Yeah, she was involved in softball and she ran track at Grant High School. But then Athena moved in with her older sister, Aisha, in Duluth, Georgia during her senior year because she wanted to get state tuition rates for college. And that's kind of just where she wanted to go. Mm-hmm. So she wanted to be over there to do all of that.
Yeah.
Once she graduated, Athena actually enrolled in the University of Phoenix with goals to become a pediatrician. She had a son. The time that she went missing, he was 16 months old, and his name was King.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's so cute.
I bet.
There's going to be pictures, which he's so grown now, but he's also still cute. Mm-hmm. So we'll make sure we post that stuff. Anyway, even after King was born, she spent those next 16 months being a doting mom and working really hard to continue her schooling and progressing towards her goals. Her sister, of course, was there to support her as she continued to plan for her future. A few days before her disappearance, Athena dropped the news on her sister that she was planning to move out. She decided that she and King would move in with King's father, Yusef, so they could reside together as a family unit. So she just wanted to get them all under the same roof.
Right.
Aisha explained to NBC News, I was a little shocked because I didn't think they were back together. I didn't even think that they had been communicating. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's a little weird.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, she's like, oh, by the way, we're
moving.
Yeah.
I mean, after, spending all that time with her sister since leaving Oregon.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, her sister probably would have preferred that she just stayed with her. It probably would have been an easier situation. I mean, because it was already working out. and she was going to school and stuff, but shaking it up a little bit.
Right.
So Athena and her son used public transportation to meet Yusef 45 minutes away just before Memorial Day weekend in 2011. They planned to spend the holiday weekend together and to look at rental properties. So he had, I believe it's an apartment that he lived in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where she went. The last time that Aisha spoke to Athena was just after midnight on Friday, May 27th. She explained that the reason for the call was to check on her sister and her nephew since they had been with Yusef for a few days. And when Aisha had spoke to her mom that day, her mom was like, you know what? I have this really weird, sick feeling.
Yeah, that
And
mom
I'm worried
feeling.
about your
Mhm.
sister. So she's like, let me call her. So Aisha calls, and she gained some reassurance from her sister that everything was okay. She said she sounded like the call had woke her up, so she was a little groggy sounding,
Yeah.
but that was literally the last time she spoke to her. But
Oh, no.
Athena was like, no, we're good. We're fine,
Mhm.
you know. Just a little sleepy, but we all right. So Athena and King were supposed to return to Aisha's home on Monday. When they did not, Aisha tried to call Athena's phone, but it was off. It was not until Tuesday, so 4 days later,
Yeah.
that Yusef reached out to Aisha via text asking if she had had any contact with Athena, and if she had, please have her call me.
Oh my God, I hate that. Like, something's wrong. Like, something is wrong. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
he steps in and goes, oh, have you heard anything?
Yeah.
Well, her phone's been off for 4 days.
Yeah.
So
He
no.
tells Aisha that they had an argument around 3 in the morning. So she called her that Friday, the 27th at midnight.
Yes.
By 3 a.m., they're fighting. So they're having an argument.
Was she groggy tired, or had she been crying probably?
That was my next question, was this something that was just like continued on until 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Did it start then? She wasn't really sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
She was sad.
Yeah.
Upset. Who knows? But he said that Athena left the house, didn't take anything with her, not even her son.
No. She was a doting mother. Absolutely no.
Right. 16-month-old.
Yeah.
Who obviously was living with her full
Right.
time and seeing the dad whenever they were all together. She's just going to up and leave him.
But they just moved back in together. So that.
Well, they hadn't even moved back in. She was just
Oh.
spending the weekend there. She was supposed to go back to her sister's house.
Oh, okay.
She was just spending the holiday weekend with him and looking at rental properties.
That's right.
Like,
okay, so
they're trying to get their plan together so that they can move in together.
So she was just staying at his apartment.
Yeah, so
then.
she was just at his place, his current place, for that weekend.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
Sussy. Now, you also have to consider her and her son got there via public transportation.
Mhm.
She does not have a car. So she just left on foot.
Right. That makes no sense. In
the middle of the night.
No.
I'm mad. I might go outside, try to cool off. I'm not leaving
Right.
the area. And if I am, I'm calling somebody to come get me and my kid.
Right.
Be like, I can't stay here. I know it's the middle of the night. I'm so sorry. Please help me.
You're not going to just take off and
Not going to
disappear into the night on foot.
Right. I'm mad, but I ain't done.
Right. I'm not
And
stupid.
I don't think she was either. You know, you have aspirations to be a pediatrician.
Right. You're a smart woman.
You're a smart girl.
Mm-hmm.
Aisha told NBC that she immediately called police and searches began, but there was no sign of Athena. Aisha further explained that it was my worst nightmare come true. Something happened to Athena. I just know it. She didn't just walk away from her life, from her son. King was her pride and joy. She would never, ever leave him.
Right. And I wonder if they, like her and Yusef, had a rocky past, which is why they weren't together in the first place.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Well.
Or if it was just a situation of, okay, I know we have a kid together. Let's try to make things work situation.
Right. Well, I mean, even in the case of a rocky
Right.
past, that may be the reason they're trying to make things work, you know? Atlanta Police Sergeant Abear, or maybe it's Herbert, no, probably Abear, told an NBC News affiliate, WXIA, that it was reported the argument was over text messages that Athena saw on Yusef's phone from another woman.
Of course it was.
Some sources say it was text messages and pictures. So we know what happens when people be sending pictures.
Yes.
It ain't no innocent picture, girl. NBC reported that Yusef is a person of interest since he is the last person who saw and spoke to Athena, but also because of the relationship and child that they shared. However, there are other news outlets that report the complete opposite. They say that he has not been named a person of interest. So it's conflicting as to whether or not he was or he wasn't.
Right.
Yusef himself told WXIA, honestly, anything could have happened. I am her boyfriend. I was with her. I can't blame them if they think that I am, but they can think what they want to think. I'm not trying to convince you or anyone I'm innocent. And that was a direct quote from him. He further explained he knew something was wrong when she didn't return after their fight. So Yusef himself denies involvement in her disappearance. And there was some confirmation that family members did say that he did participate in searches for Athena. Does that mean he's innocent? No. Does any of this make him guilty? No, but I mean it's obviously the first line of investigation.
Yes.
He's the last person who saw her, whether they were boyfriend and girlfriend or not. You're the last person who had eyes on her. So they're always going to be like, questions.
Yeah, you're going to be brought in for questioning and interrogation and all that.
So in an earlier article by WSB TV, Yusef said Athena stormed off wearing only a tank top and shorts. According to this same article, Yusef did not report her missing to the police or her family until 4 days later, which he didn't report them to the police. He told Aisha.
Right.
And she did it. So police started taking another look at this whole case in 2017 because she was still missing at that point. So that's 6 years later. Yes. And they're like, let's look at this again.
Yeah, and there's no way that she would be gone for 4 days and not come back for her son.
Right.
There's...
And Aisha told WSB TV that it didn't make any sense that she would leave at 3 a.m. and Yusef would not go after her.
Yeah.
Why would you not walk out and go, come back here?
Right. Yeah, that makes...
Don't be silly. Come back inside.
What's going on with the Atlanta Police Department? Because, this goes back to the Cooper case and all of the stuff that they got away with.
Girl, I don't know, but
Atlanta. Come on now.
Yeah. So according to those police, the couple's relationship was full of abuse.
Ugh.
And Yusef had previously been arrested and accused of beating Athena. They further explained that he had also threatened to shock her with a stun gun the day she gave birth to their son. There's another article that says he actually did. But so I don't know if he did it or he didn't do it.
Man.
But he at least threatened to on the day she gave birth.
Ladies, do not listen to a man when he says, I will change. If he has done something bad to you, leave. Please leave.
Yeah.
Because I have gone through the situation and I was in it for years. And It's never going to get better. Ever.
Right.
Ever. Don't do it.
Run.
Yes, please.
Well, let me add this for you. In a 2015 article by WXIA, Yusef told them, I've never touched a woman in my life until Athena. Until Athena, never in my life.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Right, I'm calling it.
Yeah. What about her triggered you to like lay your hands on her and use a stun gun while she was giving birth to your son?
Well, not just that.
Yeah.
According to WSB TV, Athena's family believe that Yusef obviously is very capable of hurting her. And at the time of the 2017 article, he was in jail due to accusations of not just robbery, but for also beating and strangling his current girlfriend. So he's in there accused of beating and strangling his current girlfriend, had done things to Athena that he was accused and arrested for.
Right. So was he going to blame her?
But never in his life.
Yeah, it was because of her I started doing this, so now I'm going to do it to another one.
Right.
Oh,
so now we're going to continue the pattern that Athena started because that was her fault. I've never touched a woman before that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do I think that there was aggression on both sides? Sure. There's nothing that says Athena ever beat him, though.
Right.
So keep your hands to yourself, yo.
Yup. Keep your hands to yourself on both sides.
It's like crazy. Obviously,
throw
like
a pan of cookies.
Said, throw a pan of cookies and a spatula.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Don't do that either.
No.
It'll still get you in trouble.
Right.
So, obviously, like we've been saying over and over and over again, Athena's family also does not believe that Athena would have ever walked out on her son, even if she was walking out of her relationship.
Right. And not come back for 4 days to get him.
Aisha explained this to NBC, saying, quote, I have no doubt that she walked outside to cool off from their argument, but where would she go? It was the middle of the night. Nothing was open, and she didn't have a car. She would have never just walked away from her son.
No.
It just keeps going back to that. Like, that boy was her,
her world, yeah.
Yeah, everything.
Dang.
Like, she was literally leaving everything, leaving that kid, and nobody believes she would ever do that. Athena's sister believes someone knows something somewhere. She finds it hard to think someone has kept this dark secret to themselves this whole time. She's created a Facebook page called Missing Athena Curry. She also has a website dedicated to her sister's case, which you can find a link to via the Facebook page. Aisha eventually adopted her nephew King after he spent some time living between their families. So he was like living between his grandparents, on his dad's side, and then also family members on Athena's side of this. And so, but at some point, Aisha was able to get custody of her
and give
nephew.
him a stable home life.
So there's tons of pictures of him, including some homecoming pictures for freshman homecoming stuff.
I can't wait to see him.
Yeah, they're all over the Facebook for his mom, and it's really sweet that she always posts these things like she's talking to her and being like, look at him. You would be so proud,
That's so sweet.
And I'm sure she would be.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
he looks so much like his mom. And according to Aisha, even though King does not remember his mother, if you want to know what Athena was like, then you should spend some time with her son. Aisha makes it a point to tell King everything about his mom, which is great. But she's like, he has her personality. And she says, and it's a strong one. But as she continued to explain, I get a little glimpse of Athena and King all the time. He has her fearless spirit, and physically, I notice little things like he has her little nose and even her feet. She had very flat feet, and his feet are just like hers.
Oh. And probably has, like, her mannerisms and stuff, too, without
Yeah.
even, like,
I noticed,
remembering
like,
her.
just from
Yeah.
like, the different pictures I've seen of her,
Mhm.
and then seeing pictures of him, like, on that Facebook page when I
Mhm.
saw, like, the homecoming stuff and whatever, and when he smiles, I mean, he looks just like
Right.
her.
Oh.
So at the time of the article published by NBC News in 2020, her sister explained, 9 years later, we have no answers. At this point, I don't believe she's alive, but I pray every day that we will find out what happened to her. When Athena disappeared, she was 5 foot 8 inches tall and weighed 150 pounds with brown eyes and black hair. She is an African American woman, very beautiful African American woman. And she had a piercing in her nose and her lower lip, so she was cool.
Right. Absolutely.
She had a tattoo that said King Care on her left arm, as well as a bow wrapped around that same arm. On her right wrist was a rose and the word Rocky. She also had a music note on the left side of her neck and a tribal symbol on top of her left hand. So all things.
Right. She has some cool tattoos then.
Yeah. Very distinguishing marks.
And my thing is, like, you know, they were at his apartment. If you've ever lived in an apartment, even if they're, like,
everybody can hear you fighting.
Even if they're really nice apartments and they're, like, more soundproof, you can still hear people fighting.
Oh, yeah.
So
you're keeping your neighbors up if y'all are arguing.
At 3 o'clock in the morning. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
the neighbors, the ones above you.
Yeah. Somebody heard something. Somebody knew something. So did they see her, you know, did somebody see her storm out of the apartment? Did somebody see her, you know, or
walking in the parking
lot, or hear loud noises like somebody was trying to, you know,
do something
to her.
Yeah.
So, like, somebody out there knows something.
Absolutely. I firmly believe the same thing. They're just afraid to say anything for whatever reason. Not sure what the reason is, but you know.
Yeah, just like,
I will say, not all snitches get stitches.
Exactly.
Not all of them.
You can snitch and be okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like insane and sad that, you know, here we are in 2025. So what's that? It was May 27th. So we're not quite to the 14-year mark, but we're really close.
Yeah, almost there. We're about to roll into April.
So she's been gone quite a long time. So obviously at this point, I want to say that if anybody has any information, please call the Atlanta Police Department Missing Persons Unit at 404-546-4235, or you can call the Atlanta Police Crime Stoppers at 404-577-8477. Hopefully somebody says something at some point, because her family deserves to know. Her son, most importantly, her son deserves to know what happened to his mom. And her family doesn't think that she's alive, but if by some weird circumstance she is, like something happened and she's got like some amnesia or something, doesn't even remember who she is, like, who knows?
Right. Like, somebody's heard something or seen something. So absolutely. And, you know, if you're in a situation where you're being abused or something like that has happened, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. It's 800-799-7233. Or you can text BEGIN to 88788. So that way, you know, if you are unable to get on the phone because somebody's always there listening to you,
right,
you can text.
Yeah. Like your situation where somebody was always at work with you. You weren't even allowed to go to work by yourself, for crying out loud. Like he was somewhere and you're there.
Lurking. Yep. Been there, done that.
Watching. Yeah. That's crazy. Also, something I want to just bring up, because I consistently look for people of color to try to help get that stuff out. Because what I find is whether they're missing, murdered, anything like that, it is so hard to find information.
Yeah.
Like, you will find an article here and there, and it's all because their family reached out to someone and, did something that you can read about so that this you get to hear about this person or whatever. But there are so many instances where I will look up something and it'll have their name, their date of birth, the date they went missing.
That's it.
And sometimes it'll say whoever went missing from a bar in blah, 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 or their home in blah, blah, blah. And that's it.
Yeah. There's no story to it. But also then you got to look into police reports. Are they really reporting everything? Are they taking the statements down that people are saying? Because sometimes that gets skipped over too. And it's...
Yeah, even in the simplest
horrible.
Of situations, like my daughter's car accident.
Right.
Where they took the statement of the other person.
Right. And
it's in the police report.
Hers.
And hers is nowhere to be found. Like, crap like that constantly happens. And I don't think it's okay at all.
Nope.
Like, people just being marginalized. In her instance, I said, it's because you're young, and the other people involved in this car accident were not.
Yep.
They were older people. So obviously the only people here that are telling the truth are the ones that are not, still in their teen years, because she's 19 and they're in their 50s. So of course the 50-year-old's telling the truth.
Right. And the teenager was at fault, which she was not.
No, she was not. Currently, the insurance company is, because they're tired of having to go back and forth between everybody.
And that happens with a lot of young people.
Yeah, it does. And so they're claiming mutual fault, but we requested for them to get some camera footage because we can't pick it up ourselves. They won't let us.
Yeah.
Funny. So yeah, fun times. We're like, don't mess with me.
Right.
I have a true crime podcast.
Exactly. I'll put you on my true crime podcast. I have footage. Yeah, but it is. I've looked. There's a lot of stories that have people of color, like you said, and information is missing. So it's I've tried to dig and find stuff.
Yeah, it's hard because it doesn't matter how much you dig. As many places as you can find. I'm like, if I find something that says a family member said whatever, then I start digging in the family member, trying to
figure something out.
Where can I find more information about what happened to this person? And it's so sad. So it's like, I almost feel like just compiling a bunch of those and being like, let me tell you this person's name. And then I'm just going to post a million pictures.
There you go. We'll just be like the missing persons thing and just put a bunch of pictures, which I've been trying to post weekly,
randomly,
a missing person.
But heck, even those have more information than some of the stuff that I've been trying to research. So
we'll have to start pulling some from those sites and just, even with the small amount of information, start posting because
it's disheartening.
It is. It really is.
And now,
that was a good case though, and I hope somebody
hope somebody gets some help from it.
Some information.
Somebody can help them, but also that this story helps you realize, maybe I shouldn't be in this relationship. Maybe I shouldn't be in this situation. Let me do better for myself and get out of here.
Yeah, and my kids.
Yeah, especially if your kids are involved.
Yep.
You're important.
Yes.
Those babies that don't have no choice but to be wherever you are even more important.
Yep.
So, yep. Well, hopefully everyone enjoyed this. Use the word heavy like you did.
Yeah, it was a heavy episode.
This heavy episode. We absolutely appreciate you guys listening to us because we are like so excited every time we see more downloads. You have no idea. Like, we text each other. It's funny.
And should we tell them about our special listeners?
Oh, yes. Yes, for sure we should. We extra special appreciate our Australian people.
Yes.
We're listened to in Australia.
And we just found out that somebody in Canada is listening to us. So, if that's you, let us know. Hey, friends.
Send us an email. Steeped at holdmysweetie.com.
We're like, oh my God, we're in Australia. Oh my God, we're in Canada.
Yeah. It's like just so cool to see something outside of just our country.
Here, yeah.
So, yeah. So that was really, really cool.
Well, and you ran into somebody, yesterday and
Yeah.
told them about it, and they were like, "Oh, my friend listens to that." And it's just,
yeah.
it's
I was like,
very,
"Oh,
it's a very
yay,
weird
that's so cool."
situation
Yeah, it is
because
weird.
for us, we're just sitting here talking into a microphone. We're like, 3 listeners.
Right.
But it's getting out there and it's making us so happy.
Yeah. It was a very cool experience
Yeah.
to have somebody say, "Oh my God, my friend listens to that."
Which is why we went and got our tattoos for our Hold My Sweet Tea podcast because, they're super cute and they represent.
Yeah. And we're going to remember it forever.
Yep.
Hopefully it's successful. But if
Yes.
not, those 3 people are going to be listening to us.
Absolutely.
We're
gonna
old and
keep
gray
going.
in our rockers.
Yep. We're going to keep going.
Still talking.
Absolutely.
Our music is made by Patty Salzetta. We want to make sure that everybody, checks out her little band if you live in Louisiana,
Yes.
the Wonder Kind.
She's very
band.
talented.
She is. We love her. And she sings so well.
Yes.
Plus, she's just really fun to watch. Little firecracker.
Yep, she is. Short and spunky.
Yeah. You can follow us on all social media platforms and, of course, listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. And if you don't know where to get podcasts, you can always go to our website at holdmysweettea.com.
Absolutely. And if you're listening to this, then you're already listening to our podcast.
Yeah. But,
so if
your friend's listening to this and you're like, I don't know where to get podcasts from, but this sounds really cool, then that's why you...
Well, let me tell you where you can get this at, right? So... Absolutely. So y'all keep listening. And Hold My Sweet Tea is a Drunken Bee production. Bzz. And remember to stay safe out there. And also we have another announcement coming and we'll probably do it on the next episode because we're going to, drop some exciting things.
Cool stuff.
Yes. So y'all stay safe out there, like I said. And just because we're dipping doesn't mean you can't keep sipping. Bye.
Bye.